50 years of musicians' shenanigans. The Rolling Stones suffer chaos on the Love You Live tour. The Sex Pistols go on Bill Grundy's show in December of 1976. Guitarist Steve Jones was dared to say something outrageous by Grundy. Jones responded, "What a fucking rotter," on live TV. Elvis Presley suffered declining health and performance issues in the mid-70s. The Clash suffer from infighting and punk chaos. On September 7, 1978, paramedics pronounced Who drummer Keith Moon dead after he ingested 32-clomethazole in the same flat Mama Cass died in several years earlier. John Lennon returns to music and is assassinated. On January 20th, 1982, Ozzy Osbourne was supporting Diary of a Madman with a show in Iowa. A fan threw a bat on stage. Thinking it was a rubber bat, Ozzy bit the head off. Michael Jackson alleges being sexually molested as a child. On November 12, 1984, Madonna releases Like a Virgin. Fans love it. Parents? Not so much. Prince has legal battles with Warner Brothers. Prince fights Warner and fucking wins. In 1984, he wasn't the artist formerly known as Prince yet, he was still just Prince. He also had a #1 movie, Purple Rain.
Where are you? Answer me, motherfucker!
And a #1 song, When Doves Cry. If the internet existed then, he would have been returned for every search. He was an entertainment industry god. Getting to that point took him 7 years. In 1984, he starred in the incredibly loosely, so loosely it would later be denied, based on his life movie Purple Rain, a #1 movie with a #1 song. Elvis never did that, and he made 31 movies. But royal titles are stupid even in the music industry, so Elvis is king and Prince is, well, Prince. The plot is also eerily similar to another Detroit musician's movie. Prince's new role as music god caused dissatisfaction with the royalties he procured in his 1978 contract. So Prince renegotiated. By renegotiated, I mean he did interviews where he compared the music industry contracts to slavery. Because it makes a lot of fucking sense for a millionaire to claim they're being treated like a slave. But people listened. Eventually, Warner financed the foundation of Prince's Paisley Park label, with Warner handling distribution. Wham! George Michael's personal struggles affect the group. In 1986, Metallica's star was on the rise with the recently certified gold Master of Puppets. And on September 27th, a tour bus accident left Major Rager and four-string motherfucker Cliff Burton dead in Germany. Whitney Houston gets accused of drug use. In the summer of 1989, NWA played Fuck the Police in Detroit. 30 seconds into the song, a gun was fired in the audience and the band ran backstage, where a mob of police tackled and arrested them. Milli Vanilli lip-synced their Grammy Award-winning album. Their Grammy is revoked. On September 3rd, 1990, Vanilla Ice released To the Extreme, featuring Ice Ice Baby. The first Billboard chart-topping rap song had a familiar bass line, which led to legal battles with Queen. Axl Rose instigates riot in St. Louis, faces charges. In November of 1993, a 19-year-old fan accused Tupac Shakur and several of his friends of forcing her to perform fellatio on them in a New York hotel room. Shakur was sentenced to 18 months to 4.5 years in jail for the incident. Michael Jackson is accused of abusing Macaulay Culkin and several other young children. Kurt Cobain commits suicide. Or did he? Cobain death, murder, or suicide? On September 31st, 1991, the grunge genre was born with the release of Nirvana's Nevermind. The lead single, Smells Like Teen Spirit, became the unofficial anthem of Gen X by the end of the year. On January 11, 1992, Nevermind replaced Michael Jackson's Dangerous on Billboard's #1 spot. This is, musically speaking, the death of the 1980s. Seriously, laws were passed that forced radio stations to burn every hair metal album in their collection and replace them with grunge albums. For those under 30, grunge is an amorphous musical genre that includes every band from Seattle in the early 1990s. Alice in Chains was no longer metal, they were grunge. Pearl Jam was no longer rock. They were grunge. Nirvana wasn't punk, they were grunge, a musical genre defined by flannel shirts and being from Seattle. Fast forward to 1994. Nirvana released two #1 studio albums, Nevermind and In Utero. Their sub-pop album, Bleach, was re-released and reached number 89 on the charts. Cobain married Courtney Love. The couple gave birth to Frances Bean Cobain. By April of 1994, Cobain was falling deeply into the grips of his heroin addiction and his clinical depression. Cobain was considering retiring from music. Then, friends and business associates were unable to locate Cobain. On April 8th, an electrician showed up at Cobain's house that was for sale and found Cobain's body there. Officially, reports state that Cobain had gone into the home, done some drugs, and then shot himself in the head with a Remington Model 11. For clarity, Cobain's arms were about 28 inches long. A Remington Model 11 is at least 40 inches long from barrel tip to trigger, and Cobain managed to shoot himself in the head with this gun while high on heroin, which is why many fans still believe that Courtney Love was behind Cobain's death. TLC faces bankruptcy and financial struggles. In 1996, East Coast rappers and Puffy's Bad Boy Records were feuding with West Coast rappers and Suge Knight's Death Row Records. At the height of the feud, Tupac Shakur was shot and killed in a drive-by in Vegas that would go unsolved for over 20 years. The Spice Girls suffer from infighting and management issues. On October 23, 1998, Britney Spears released Hit Me Baby One More Time and quickly became a household name. Her career was plagued by controversy, and we'll hear more about her later. Eminem's controversial lyrics caused a backlash. In July of 1999, Woodstock 99, a three-day festival, took place commemorating the 30th anniversary of the original show. Instead of peace and love, this one had riots, sexual assaults, and just general bad behavior from the audience. Limp Bizkit singer Fred Durst was blamed as he said,
"How many people here ever woke up one morning and just decided it wasn't one of those days and you're gonna break some shit? Well, this is one of them days, y'all, where everything's fucked up. You just want to break some shit."
During the band's performance, which was the day before most of the riots, Aaliyah died tragically and had a scandal with R. Kelly. Shakira evokes a Latin pop debate and has much success. In 2004, Ashley Simpson was scheduled to perform on Saturday Night Live. She got laryngitis, so the producers talked her into lip-syncing, but during her second song, the lyrics from the first song played and she was exposed. Janet Jackson has a wardrobe malfunction at the Super Bowl and inspires the creation of YouTube. Jackson exposes nip to entire world. You would have a hard time finding people that remember the New England Patriots beat the North Carolina Panthers by a field goal in 2004's Super Bowl 38, because everyone remembers the halftime show with Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson. By 2004, Timberlake was still supporting Justified. He would not release another album until 2006. In March 2004, Jackson released Demeted Joe, to lackluster performance on the mainstream charts. The two paired up to perform a duet of Timberlake's Rock Your Body. The 23-year-old Timberlake and the 37-year-old Jackson performed the song while simulating sex with dance moves. At the end of the performance, Timberlake exposed Jackson's breast in what would later be called a wardrobe malfunction. The next day at work, two computer geeks got really mad when they couldn't find footage of the incident on the internet, and thus was born YouTube. So if you're wondering who to thank for this video, the answer is Janet Jackson's tit. 50 Cent has many feuds with other rappers. Amy Winehouse struggles with substance abuse. In 2007, Britney Spears lost custody of her two children due to mental issues. In February of 2008, Spears was placed on a temporary conservatorship that would last almost 16 years. She could not control her own money or life. Allegations circulate of Chris Brown assaulting Rihanna. In 2009, Taylor Swift won the Video Music Award for Best Female Video. During her acceptance speech, Kanye West stormed the stage, stole the mic, and announced that Beyoncé should have won. Justin Bieber has paparazzi drama and legal trouble. On July 23, 2011, Amy Winehouse died from alcohol poisoning, making her the most recent addition to the 27 Club. Lindsay Lohan got arrested. In 2013, the 20-year-old former child star Miley Cyrus gave a very sexualized performance at the VMAs with Robin Thicke, raising much controversy. Justin Bieber! I'll egg the shit out of your house. Bieber throws $80,000 egg. In 2007, 13-year-old Justin Bieber's mom started posting videos of him singing covers on YouTube for friends and family. In 2008, Scooter Braun noticed the videos and signed the 14-year-old Canadian to Braun & Usher's management company. This led to a deal with Island Records that led to Bieber becoming a household name. Fast forward to 2013 and Bieber is a 19-year-old superstar living in a gated community in Calabasas, where he behaves like a 19-year-old with too much money and too little responsibility. He drives too fast in the gated community, he throws loud party, he uses drugs. Basically, he is a complete nuisance to his neighbors. Then he gets into an argument with his neighbors, Jeffrey and Susan Schwartz. Bieber decides it would be a good idea to egg their multi-million-dollar mansion. They call the police, Bieber pleads guilty, serves a probation sentence, and pays $80,000 in restitution in 2014. Several years later, the Schwartzes filed another civil suit against Bieber, seeking another $80,000 in pain and suffering. The case was settled out of court for an undisclosed amount. Bieber is still famous and has been affiliated with Hillsong Church. Kanye West, seeking to increase his infamy, interrupts the Grammys. In 2016, Beyoncé released Lemonade, telling the story of a husband's infidelity. The wife learns of it and forgives him. This spreads rumors of infidelity in Beyoncé's relationship. Katy Perry had a catfight with Taylor Swift. Suffering from allegations launched in 2017's Me Too movement, R. Kelly faced a public uproar for his record company to drop him. Several of his staff, including his lawyer, quit, and a former lover sued him for intentionally infecting her with an STD. Lil Nas X openly proclaimed his homosexuality. In February of 2021, Justin Timberlake apologized to Jackson for the 2004 Super Bowl and also to Britney Spears for assisting in her vilification during their custody battle. DaBaby made a lot of homophobic comments. On March 27, 2022, Chris Rock, the MC at the Grammys that year, said he couldn't wait to see Jada Smith, Will Smith's wife, in the sequel to G.I. Jane. Jada's head was shaved due to alopecia. Will Smith jumped on stage and slapped the shit out of Rock. Travis Scott was implicated in the Astroworld tragedy and its aftermath. Harry Styles, is he gay, queerbaiting, or just an odd dude? Harry Styles has relationship controversy and public scrutiny. In 2010, the X Factor UK decided that they would like to unleash another boy band on the world. I, on the other hand, would like to paraphrase Cracker. What the world needs now is another boy band like I need another hole in my head. But I didn't design the show, and so One Direction was born with members Neil Horan, Liam Payne, Louis Tomlinson, Zayn Malik, and Harry Styles. The band had much commercial success, which is a big surprise considering it was formed as part of a top-rated TV show. In 2015, Zayn left. In 2016, Harry left, and the group went on a permanent hiatus. Harry started a solo music and acting career. Fast forward to 2022, and Styles is accused of queerbaiting, whatever the hell that is. He does make some, let's say, odd wardrobe choices. Many of these choices could be equated to stereotypical gay clothes. Again, whatever the fuck that means. But Harry is secretive about his sexual orientation and love life, saying it is simply not the public's business. I have to agree with Harry on that one. Then Styles started My Policeman, a gay love story taking place in the 1950s. While promoting the film, Styles commented, "There will be, I would imagine, some people who watch it who were very much alive during the time when it was illegal to be gay. And Michael, whatever his last name is, wanted to show that it's tender and loving and sensitive. Since he is not openly part of the LGBTQIA+ community, he was ridiculed for speaking for the community. So to summarize, a celebrity who is very secretive about their sexual orientation and love life played a gay man in a movie, and then talked about what the director wanted to show in that movie, and is condemned for speaking for the gay community. That makes perfect sense. Chuck Berry and 14-year-old girl crossed state lines for immoral purposes. In 1955, Chuck Berry burst onto the U.S. musical landscape with Maybelline. In the ensuing years, Berry released Roll Over Beethoven, School Days, Rock and Roll Music, and Sweet Little 16. This success provided Berry with the money to open Chuck Berry Music Corp. And purchase a St. Louis nightclub named Chuck Berry's Club Bandstand. Berry transported the at the time 14-year-old Janice Escalante from El Paso, Texas to St. Louis, Missouri. Janice claimed that Berry had sexually assaulted her 14 times. Berry claims he transported her to work in his St. Louis nightclub legitimately. Who would you believe? Federal investigators believed Escalante. Berry was arrested on Mann Act charges. Due to the wording of the law, the sexual assaults were labeled as indecent purposes. Berry was convicted and spent 2 years in prison as a result. Many in the public believed Berry, and upon his release, he continued a lucrative music career. By 1989, Berry owned the Wentzville, Missouri Southern Air restaurant. He also owned the camera that was in the women's bathroom, and a bunch of tapes from that camera that police confiscated from his home. Now, who do you believe about the 1959 incident?